Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dylan, and today I think I'm going to take you to the beach. And I believe we're going to go to Hermosa Beach. I think that's what I've determined. It's been one of those days where I'm just like, there's a lot going on. So I'm like, you know what? I think I need to go to the beach and relax and just take a couple of breathers and, stuff like that. But we're going to go to Hermosa Beach. I lived in Hermosa Beach for 7 years. So, yeah, I might as well show you around my old stomping grounds. And this is when I was working at Disneyland too. So, I'd come back from Disneyland and I'd drop my stuff off at the house and then I'd walk down to the beach. So, I'm hoping that there's parking nearby the old place. And yeah, we're just going to kind of stroll around, check out Pier Avenue there, and then we'll walk the pier, check out the water and see what the waves are like today. And yeah, hopefully the weather is really nice. So I hope it's not like super overcast or anything. So I'm gonna hit the road. It's gonna take me 14 hours to get there, which is great because I mean it wouldn't be a Southern California trip unless you sat in a lot of traffic. So let's go ahead and do that and make our way to Hermosa Beach. Okay, and just like that, I've officially made it to Hermosa Beach, my old stomping grounds. Found some parking. Yeah, usually there's parking down by my old place, so I was like, I should be fine, and sure enough, there were plenty of spots. Also, there's the Disneyland house. My dad and I, Dad, if you're watching, you remember this, but my dad and I would call this house the Disneyland house because it kind of looks like something you'd see at Disneyland. And then the house that's like 2 doors down looks like something you'd find in Miami. And the reason why I'm walking up this way is because I wanted to show you where I used to live. I lived in this apartment complex right here with my pops. And you can see we're not far from the ocean. I'm gonna try to hurry up and get down there before the overcast rolls in. Yeah, it's kind of a trip being back here. It's been a minute since I've walked next to this building. This fence is new. This was not here when I was living here. It used to just be these big giant bushes. They were pretty awful. This street right here is PCH. So when I tell a lot of my friends, yeah, no, I lived on PCH, I wasn't kidding. I lived right here. And the apartment was like right over here. So I would be woken up by the traffic and sometimes the ocean when we had like a gnarly swell. You'd hear the waves because we're really not that far. Oh wow, yeah, they like put like a little mural right here. This was my room right there. So I'm not gonna zoom in because I don't know who's living there, but that was my room. So I was right next to PCH. Here's another really good view. You zoom in of the ocean right there. And like I was mentioning earlier, I was living here when I worked at Disneyland, and that was around when Cars Land opened up at California Adventure, so what, 2011, 12. And what I would do after work sometimes is I'd come back home, I'd drop my stuff off, and then I would just do this walk exactly like what we're doing right now, down to the ocean, just to kind of unwind and relax and enjoy the sunset. And then I'd walk back up, and then I would change, and then I would go to the gym with my dad because we went to this 24-hour fitness here, which might still be here. I'm going to find out in just a few moments. And this walk has kind of stayed the same. Really, I mean, they changed a little bit of this. They added some turf right there. But everything else is, yeah, it's like I'm walking down memory lane. But it's not memory lane. This is Pacific Coast Highway. Jack's is still over there. Jack's surfboards. I've only been in there a couple times. A lot of their stuff was kind of expensive, to be honest. And then the 24-hour fitness should still be in here. Oh, they got rid of it. Oh, dude. Wait, they still have the pool down there. Is it just like a different gym now? Or is it still 24-hour fitness? There's still equipment up there. Because that was the sign. Dang. Okay, we're beelining it down 16th Street. There's a Vons right here. I'd always go and grab a sandwich or something if I was going down to the beach. And then down here, there's like a cool little trail. A lot of people do running and hiking down over here. Okay, I've made it to the walking trail. Yeah, this thing goes all the way down. It goes that away too. It's a nice little workout too, because they should still have some workout equipment over here. Okay, we've made it to Pier Avenue, and this will lead you all the way down to the water. And they usually do like an art walk here. They do events up and down the street from time to time. It's pretty cool. And it's changed over the years. There's always been some new people moving in and out. Like I remember when they redid all that. But yeah, I think it's a cool little strand that leads you down to the pier. There's definitely a lot more like little cafes and places to grab a bite to eat here for sure. Because when I was living here, there was a few, but now it seems like that has quadrupled since then. Oh dang, this surf shop over here went under. Yeah, they had Billabong and Quicksilver and all those different brands. But then you could also buy a cool board in here. Dang, I wonder when that went under. That sign that I walked by said 2024, so maybe a few years ago it went under. It was there for a long time. Oh dang, they changed that. That used to be like a bar, and I don't know what that, it's like an office building now. Dad, if you're watching, yeah, you remember a place, we'd go to this bar every once in a blue moon. Yeah, that's all different. Holy guacamole. This little coffee shop's been here forever, yeah, since 1992, and they're still trucking. Yeah, they got some good coffee there. And when bam, here we are. This is the Strand and the pier. It's awesome, yeah. Again, like just a few minutes. You know, for a Friday, it's actually not that busy. I was expecting it to be a little bit more busy. We got Hennessy's over there that I've been to a million times. Sharky's is down there, American Junkie. I feel like this has all kind of stayed the same. There's like a burger joint, yeah, good stuff over there, which is pretty good. Yeah, there you go. And then didn't really get clear skies, that's okay. You know, even though there's some cloud coverage right now, it's still a really beautiful day out. It's not super cold or anything. I'm in shorts and I'm chilling. It feels nice. This is really nice. Then just to kind of give you some bearings, down over here is Redondo Beach. And then as you continue the journey up north, you have Manhattan Beach, which is really nice. Then you have Venice, Santa Monica, and Malibu. And the water's looking really nice today too. The water's always been relatively good over in Hermosa Beach. Kind of see the coloring there. Yeah, it's nice. We have a lot of people playing in the water. The surf's never been too crazy here in Hermosa Beach. It's been kind of like this. Every once in a blue moon, there'll be like a really good swell that comes in. Hermosa Beach will get some killer waves, but for the most part, I'm talking like 90% of the time, it's like this. So if you're learning how to surf or just learning how to, boogie board, whatever, this is actually a really good beach to do that at. Yeah, not the craziest waves. Again, perfect for boogie boarding and learning how to surf. Wonder if we'll see a couple planes take off from LAX, because LAX is just over there. Wonder if I'll be able to catch one. And then I don't know if I could zoom into Santa Monica. Santa Monica's like right over here. I don't know if we could see the pier from this shot just because it's all kind of pixelated. But yeah. And looking way off in the distance there, beautiful shot. Especially after a day like I had today, it's a little stressful. It is nice to come down here and just relax. The ocean is very calming to me, and it's always nice to spend a few hours by the water. I'm glad that the pier is relatively clean too. They've always kept the Hermosa Beach Pier really nice. And they have this like little surfer walk of fame here. I believe they have one in Huntington Beach as well. Hermosa Beach and Manhattan Beach are actually really popular with tourists. I remember when I lived here, there was a lot of tourists that would frequent the beach here just because it's really close to LAX. And it's a more calming experience compared to Santa Monica and Venice. Those two beaches can get a little wild and crazy and might be a little overwhelming for some people, but Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach right here, and Redondo are a little bit more laid back. So I think that's why a lot of people would pick coming over here to just kind of maybe spend their last little beach day before they flew out. Because again, yeah, the airport's just right there. Actually, didn't want to send any more of the earth-shattering traffic and soul-crushing traffic, so I got off on Sepulveda, which is right here, which turns into PCH. And it was kind of nice to drive through that, because then, yeah, you can see the water in some areas. I forgot to tell you what the water temp was today. 70 degrees? That's really good. That is actually really nice. Alrighty, I'm busting out the pale feet. It's time to walk. Time to walk the sand here. Made it underneath the pier. It's always one of my favorite shots. Straight down the middle of the pier, and you watch the waves crash up against the concrete pillars. And then from ground level here, you get a nice little view of the waves. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting in the water today. I was not prepared for that. So sorry everybody watching, waiting for me to be shirtless. I know, there's like 2 of you. So, not in today's video. Maybe in the next couple of videos, I don't know. Okay, I think I'm gonna walk back up to the strand over here. I'm contemplating on taking y'all to one of my favorite ramen places that's not too far from here, that I would also frequent after work at Disney. I don't know, I'm still thinking about it. But we can walk around a little bit more over here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and bail out on the strand just because I only have so much sunscreen on me and I don't wanna get blasted anymore by the sun. Also, side note, beach house, hotel at Hermosa here, pretty legit if you wanna stay really close to the water. Because I mean, look at this, you're right there. Doesn't get any better than this. You could also rent bikes down over here. So if you want to rent something for the strand, you could take this all the way to Santa Monica Pier if you really wanted to, which my dad and I have a couple times. Yeah, I love doing that ride. I've done it a couple times with my dad. It's a long ride and it's just so much fun because, yeah, we'd start here at Hermosa Pier, then ride all the way to Santa Monica. And then when we got to Santa Monica, we'd grab lunch there, hang out, walk around 3rd Street Promenade or something, and then we'd ride back. And I remember my dad one time being a total psychopath, and he did it on rollerblades. And I remember getting to a point in our ride, I was like, "Are you sure you want to keep going?" He's like, "Yeah, let's just keep going." And we did it, and we got back to the house. I remember he's like, "Dude, you're gonna have to call an ambulance because I can't get up." I was like, "Yeah, you just did I don't know how many miles on rollerblades." Crazy. And there you have it. I made it back up to the top of Pier Avenue. Looks like they're doing an event, summer sidewalk celebration, Saturday and Sunday, August 2nd and the 3rd. There you go, if you're in the area. Also, there's a skate park right here if you want to do that. Okay, now that I got my beach fix in, let's jump back in the car and let's head over to one of my go-to ramen places that I would frequent. And I still try to go as much as I can, but they don't really have a location that's super close to me. So it's kind of few and far between now. But if I'm in an area that does have one, I try to do my best to stop on by. So let's hit that up next. My car is still here, so that's a good thing. It did not get towed. That's the thing with Los Angeles, is parking's always a pain in the rear. But thankfully, I was able to find a spot today. Okay, I've made it to my destination, just a stone's throw down the way to this location, Shinsengumi. Yeah, one of my go-to ramen places over here. Yeah, I've been coming to Shinsengumi for a long time. One of my old buddies that I worked with at the South Bay Galleria when I worked at Abercrombie and Fitch got me onto this place. She was like, "Yo, we got to go to this ramen place if you really love ramen." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I love Japanese food." And she's like, "Let's all go here." So after work one day at Abercrombie, we came over here and I was hooked. So Shinsengumi is still a place that I go to today. And yeah, if you're in the area and you love ramen, it's definitely one of the places you should check out. There's a ton of different ramen places around here, but I always keep going back to Shinsengumi. And also, speaking of the South Bay Galleria, I made a little pit stop over there just because I wanted to see if the stores that I worked at were still there. And no, they're gone. And so are a lot of other things at the South Bay Galleria. That place is like a ghost town. Holy moly, what a night and day difference from when I was working there at like what 18 or whatever. I worked at the Abercrombie and Kids and Abercrombie and Fitch, and both the locations are gone. But what's funny is downstairs at the old Abercrombie and Fitch location, they still have the speakers up in that spot that still have the moose logo from like the old Abercrombie logos that they had, and the speakers are all still there. And I remember the mall used to get so mad at us because the music would be really loud, like nightclub level loud, and the security would come in and be like, "Are your neighbors are complaining?" We're like, "We don't care. Corporate tells us to play the music loud, so sorry about it." It's just, but it was wild to see all that stuff still there. But yeah, the stores are gone. They probably moved to the Delamo Mall or something because that's like the really big mall in the area, and I feel like most everybody shops there. Okay, just finished up with my late lunch, early dinner. I gotta head back now. I have to hit up the gym before it closes at 11. There's a little bit of traffic going home. Thankfully, not as much as there was coming down here, but that was really good. It's been a few since I've had shinsengumi, and thankfully I went in when I did because now it's definitely a little bit more busy because people are coming here for dinner. But I got the spicy ramen because I love spicy food. Also, their menu is pretty extensive. There's a lot to choose from, and they have more options now than what they did years ago. So I feel like there's just about something for everybody when it comes to Japanese food. They have a lot of different options for you. But yeah, always a solid choice down over here, closest to my old stomping grounds. And with that, it's time to head on back. I don't think the traffic's going to be that bad. I think it's only going to be like 40 minutes, so that's good. But I hope you enjoyed today's little vlog. If you did, you can let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. And if you're new here, well, be sure to subscribe because I'm going to have a bunch of new videos coming up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my main channel, Theme Park Obsession, well, you should follow the link down below in the description to check that out as well if you're a fan of amusement parks. But with that, I hope you have a beautiful day, morning, evening, whatever it is. And I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye.